How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on September, and really, after the end of August pick things up, it is continuing in a big way in September with a lot of major game releases and some smaller game releases as well. You've got the best of both worlds. You've got a plethora of representation from pretty much every genre. You've got big games, smaller games, indie games, you name it, there's something for everyone here. And these aren't even all the games that are coming to PlayStation in the month of September, but these are the majority of the big ones. So let's talk about it, and let's kick things off with one of the biggest games to me of the year. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, when it was initially revealed, immediately captured my interest as an over-the-top action title. It looked like absolute mayhem. You've got so many enemies on screen. You've got visceral gameplay, action-heavy gameplay, with a little bit of focus on cooperative play, to say the least, and multiplayer in general. The main campaign is going to take you probably around 10 to 15 hours, but you're going to have a lot of longevity added to the game with the operations component, the PvE multiplayer, as well as the PvP multiplayer. There's going to be a lot to get into, and on top of that, the game is going to be updated consistently. They've already put out their roadmap for the end of 2024 into 2025. Expect content updates galore. Incredibly excited for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. The game is dropping on September the 9th, but to be fair, if you do buy the Gold Edition, you'll get quote-unquote early access. Y'all know how I feel about that. Not the biggest fan of that, but what can you do? That's the world we live in, where this early access gimmick is really taking over. Next up, we got Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, which will in fact be a PlayStation Plus freebie if you are an Essential subscriber. And given that it has an online focus, would imagine that the majority of you are going to be an Essential subscriber if you are planning on picking up Quidditch Champions anyway. Your next chapter takes flight. Immerse yourself in the enchanting world of Quidditch by playing solo or sharing the magic with friends and family. Been seeing a little bit of divisiveness as far as the interest in this game. A lot of people think it should have been like an expansion to Hogwarts Legacy. It's its own game, but hey, I gotta give them a lot of credit. They are not gonna be having a lot of microtransaction nonsense or anything like that. And given it's coming from Warner Brothers and this is an IP they could easily monetize, I am kind of taken aback by that, a little bit surprised. But it's going to be $29.99, free if you are a Plus subscriber, and we'll see how much longevity it does have again. It's going to live and die by its multiplayer community. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions drops on September the 3rd. Next up, we have Ace Attorney Investigations Collections. Miles Edgeworth's dramatic turnabouts take center stage. Experience both Ace Attorney Investigations game in one gorgeous collection, investigating crime scene and solve tough, intriguing cases through logic and deduction. When Edgeworth's past and present collide, his future begins. A lot of attention been given to Ace Attorney recently, and Capcom, I feel like, has been doing a good job in releasing all of these collections, getting a newer audience invested into the IP. And now with Ace Attorney Investigations Collection, you'll have a batch of new titles to check out. It will be dropping on September the 6th. Next up, what is arguably the biggest first-party PlayStation release of the year, we have the release of Astro Bot. Incredibly excited for this one, and this is a genre and an area of gaming that Sony and PlayStation could do more of, dropping high-quality titles. And with Astro Bot, they are really trying to establish a new mascot for the PlayStation brand, which a lot of credit to them. You know, you've got characters like Kratos, you've got characters like Nathan Drake, Joel from Last of Us, so on and so forth, that are synonymous with the PlayStation brand. However, you don't have that real charming character that's family friendly, and I feel like Astro Bot can be exactly that. And as a game, this is gonna be a love letter to those of you that have been PlayStation fans for a long time. Join Astro in a brand new supersized space adventure. The PS5 mothership has been wrecked, leaving Astro and the bot crew scattered all over the galaxies. Time to ride your trusty dual speeder across more than 50 planets full of fun, danger, and surprise on your journey. Make the most of Astro's new powers and reunite with many iconic heroes from the PlayStation universe. It's gonna be a love letter for those of you that have been, you know, along the ride with various PlayStation consoles throughout the year. Astro Bot is dropping on September the 6th. Next up, we have a brand new side-scrolling action title, Perennial Order. Perennial Order is a 2D plant horror boss rush with challenging one-hit death combat set in an atmospheric dark Dark Age world plagued by nature-infested horrors, explore a lore-filled and eldritch land alone or in two-player co-op in all realistic painterly style. Love the art direction of the game, has a super spooky and dark vibe going on for it. Perennial Order will be launching on September the 6th. Next up, we have Parcel Corps. Again, another game with an awesome presentation style. Totally different from Perennial Order, but Parcel Corps notes, ditch the 9-to-5 and embrace the high-octane life of a freelance, a bicycle messenger. Forget the job security, stable salary, and basic workplace rice. Less cool jobs offer while you ride along walls and startle pigeons on your way to corporation toppling domination. Parcel Corps is noted to be released sometime in September. Next up, here's a remake a lot of people are excited for. Lollipop Chainsaw is back with Lollipop Chainsaw RePOP. The legendary zombie hunter Juliet is back, but now in 4K. Lollipop Chainsaw, which sold 1.24 million copies worldwide, is back with the latest graphics. The cheerleader Juliet, born into a family of zombie hunters, uses her trusty chainsaw to rip and tear through the undead, but now that RePOP adds speedier chainsaw action and auto fire for her chainsaw blaster, the action never slows down till the very end. And it's not just the gameplay that's been improved, the visuals and soundtrack have been powered up too. Don't miss out on this unparalleled zombie hunting adventure. Lollipop Chainsaw RePOP is out on September the 12th. Long time coming for this release, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will finally be dropping in September, specifically on September the 12th. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is a lifestyle and social experience that redefines what an open-world racing game can be. Explore a fully recreated Hong Kong island, take to the road behind the wheel of exceptional cars, and live the ultimate life of luxury as well. Priced at $49.99. A little bit surprised by the price point, but you do have a Silver Streets edition and a Gold edition, and it's a game that promises quite a bit of content. 13 years after the release of Test Drive Unlimited 2, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown reinvents the open-world, massively multiplayer racing game genre. Express your passion for cars via innovative gameplay and meticulous attention to detail. Test drive, then purchase cars directly from dealerships, customize them in workshops, and display them in the garage of your solar hotel suite. Each car offers a unique driving experience and complete immersion, windows, sunroofs, engines, and it's this exclusive experience that dictates which car you want to choose on any given day. Explore Hong Kong Island, drive around a map that has been never featured in a racing game before. Hong Kong Island, fully recreated at a 1-to-1 scale, it is brimming with unique locations to explore, from old narrow streets and major highways to mountain roads and beaches. Every cruise will be different from the last. Alone or with friends, set off and search for hundreds of collectible items that offer a variety of rewards. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is due out on September the 12th. Next up, we have a PlayStation 5 console exclusive that's going a little bit under the radar. Evotinction. In Evotinction, which is a third-person hacking and stealth game, you are Dr. Liu, the only one who can stop rogue AIs in a futuristic research facility. Use a variety of hacking skills to overcome robotic threats and uncover the secrets that hold the key to humanity's survival or its potential extinction. Really interesting setting for the game, a near-future dystopian sci-fi world. A virus of unknown origin breached the network of an isolated, self-sustained research facility and community named here. Inevitably, the core unit of the highly advanced AI system that runs the facility got infected, and as a result, those harmless service robots went out of control and started to attack human. Dr. Liu, head of research and development at here and one of the architects of the system, decided to go back into the lost facility to search for possible survivors while attempting to identify and fix the underlying issue. This whole futuristic world with an emphasis of AI has been a setting that I've been seeing more and more of in gaming, but I find it to be a fascinating setting, and how it's utilized and accentuated in a game always comes down to each individual developer. Evotinction is due out on September 13th. Next up, we have Funko Fusion. Funko Fusion has you experience a festival of fandom like never before. Play through iconic worlds and mashup characters inspired by some of your favorite franchises in an action-adventure game with uniquely authentic, irreverent humor from the creative minds of 1010 Games. Funko Fusion is due out on September 13th. Next up, we have the Plucky Squire, a game that's built up quite the anticipation, coming from all possible futures and Devolver Digital. Storybook characters discover a three-dimensional world outside the pages of their book and must jump between 2D and 3D realms to save their friends in this charming action-adventure game. The game's got a great art style, and if you are still a PS Plus subscriber, yes, the game will be a day one PS Plus extra title, so, there you go with that. I know a lot of you guys have been dropping your subscription, but if you're still a subscriber, that's going to offer some value there. Next up, here is a remaster, although you could argue it's a remake given how much it's being upgraded, that I am incredibly excited for. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. Remaster. Dead Rising is absolutely exhilarating, and now we have an upgraded release of the original Dead Rising. Dead Rising returns with modern graphics, more than just a remaster. The Deluxe Remaster is a full graphical overhaul of the first game in zombie slaughtering action game series Dead Rising. The remaster has also been fully voiced, supports autosaves, and has various other quality of life features. Witness the unmatched mayhem and freedom for yourself. One day, the peaceful town of Williamette, Colorado found itself under quarantine by the U.S. Army. Frank West, a freelance journalist, smells a scoop and finds his way into the only shopping mall in town. Unfortunately, in the mall turned into a living hell, crawling with countless zombies. Help will arrive in 72 hours, so it's up to him to find out the truth behind the incident before it's too late. You've got completely rebuilt graphics, reborn through the RE engine, smoother and friendlier gameplay. The gameplay of the original remains intact, but there are various quality of life improvements such as autosaving, revamped controls, improved UI, and many other details. Fully voiced and improved immersion as well. Spend 72 hours the way you want, rescue other survivors, and try out some new clothes while you're at it. Just remember that under these extreme circumstances, it's not just zombies, but psychopaths you have to deal with as well. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster drops on September 18th. Next up, here's another remaster that I'm very excited for. Coming from Purple Lamp and THQ Nordic, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed will be dropping in September. Embark on a magical journey in Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. Shape your adventure with the stroke of a brush and transform Wasteland as Mickey Mouse in this beautifully recreated 3D platformer. Brings the magic of Disney to life in a vibrant 3D platformer. This beautiful remake sends Mickey Mouse on an epic journey through Wasteland, a realm of forgotten Disney characters. As Mickey, you'll dive into a fantastical world, and armed with paint and thinner, shape your adventure and fate of this alternate world. Explore a reimagined Wasteland full of Disney's timeless characters and stories. Wield the magic brush paint to create, thinner to alter. Every choice shapes your story. Meet Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit, Disney's original star. In a rich and narrative-driven world, enjoy advanced gameplay with new abilities and enhanced visuals in a classic setting. Mickey has new moves such as dash, ground pound, and sprinting, and highly replayable with multiple endings based on your unique playstyle and decisions. Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed is due out on September 24th. Next up, we have the PlayStation 5 release of Shadows of Doubt, which has been very well received on PC and early access. An immersive sandbox detective stealth game set in a fully simulated sci-fi noir city of crime and corruption. Think like a private investigator and take on jobs to earn cash on your path to catching a serial killer. If you don't catch them, they will kill you again. It's been in early access going back to April of 2023 on Steam. 9,600 reviews, 90% of those reviews have been positive. Shadows of Doubt is scheduled for its PlayStation 5 release in September. Next up, we have a new JRPG in Reynatis. Not getting a lot of attention with all of the other major JRPGs coming out, but Reynatis looks to be a pretty slick action JRPG. Fantasy meets reality in Shibuya, Tokyo, where magic is something to be feared. In this action RPG, a young wizard seeks freedom through strength, and an officer seeks to control magic and restore order. When their paths cross, a darkness that will transform the world descends. Reynatis is out at the end of September on September 27th. Next up, we have Earth Defense Force World Brothers 2, the follow-up to Earth Defense Force World Brothers. A new style of EDF gameplay. Charming gameplay here in a voxel presentation. Earth Defense Force World Brothers 2 is due out in September. Next up, a pretty interesting release here, and honestly something I didn't think was gonna happen. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming to PlayStation 4. Look, Jedi Survivor had a litany of technical issues on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, as well as PC, and now we're getting the game on PlayStation 4. If you guys follow this channel, you know how much I love this game, but let's just be honest. I have to be a little bit skeptical on how the game is gonna run. We'll find out as Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming to PS4 on September 17th. Next up, we have Selfloss. Selfloss is an emotional exploration game filled with rich lore set in a whale-worshipping, Slavic-inspired world. Embark on the journey of the healer Casimir as he fights a mysterious miasm in search of a ritual to cure his wounded soul. Selfloss is out on September 5th. Next up, we have Enotria The Last Song, a brand new Souls-like game. Enotria The Last Song is a Souls-like set in a beautiful sunlit world inspired by Italian folklore where the brightest sun casts the darkest shadow, where unique role-altering masks face formidable foes and alter reality with the power of Ardor to unravel the secrets of Enotria. Really dig the setting of the game. I feel like as far as Souls-like games go, what I've noticed is having a unique setting and having that be executed well is really really gonna set your game apart. I mean, I get it that people don't want to call Wukong a Souls-like, but just as a challenging action RPG, I think that game's setting, ambiance, and presentation was a big reason why it was so popular. I'm not saying Enotria is gonna be that big, but I just am saying that that is an integral part of these styles of games at this point, and I feel like Enotria does have something that's relatively compelling. We'll see how it turns out when it drops on September 18th. And lastly, we have a brand new horror title in Pneumata. Pneumata has you prepare to question what is reality and what is insanity in one of the scariest psychological horrors in years. The tenants are going missing, screams echo, and blood seeps through the walls of Clover Hill. Visually looks quite good and the atmosphere looks tense, and I always say that's the most important part of a horror game. Pneumata is due out on PS5 on September the 3rd, and that is gonna do it for me. Again, things are really heating up in September. We've got some major game releases from Space Marine 2, Astro Bot is going to be huge on PS5. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown I think looks quite good. We'll see how that shakes up that online racing game space. But that's going to do it for me. Let us know which games you're the most excited for in September. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.